How crappy.
I can't.
Okay, it's recording now.
Nice.
Neat.
All right, so yeah, welcome everyone. I guess first one we've done. It's actually quite nice to have all the cast together for once, or most of the cast. So just quick introduction. So obviously you guys know who I am. I voice Optimus, Noah Prime, Ratchet, and some other one I don't remember. We've got Harrison with us as well, but he is at his workplace, so he's kind of listening in on the call. So on behalf of him, I'll just say a few characters he voices. So he voices Drift, Deadlock, Shockwave. Who else does he voice?
One of the
voices
dreads.
so many characters. Yeah, Berserker, that was it. Yeah, Berserker. Harrison voices so many characters I always forget. He voices
Isn't he
Lockdown.
Megatron too?
No, he's not Megatron. No.
No, it's that other guy.
He's probably going to be watching this back on YouTube, just screaming at me all the characters he voices. So sorry, Harrison. Yeah, if you want to go, Eli, and then we'll go TFA and Derek. Who do you guys voice, and what's your channels?
Well, you already gave away my name. I'm Eli, but more commonly known as THANATOS Prime, or just THANATOS. I'm the voice of Starscream, Predaking, Soundwave, Steelbane. Is that the knight? I always get the knights confused.
Yeah, Steelbane. The guy you forgot.
Yeah, Steelbane. I think Twin Strike too. I don't remember. I'm credited as Twin Strike, but I don't remember saying any lines.
Yeah, End of Days Part 1, Twin Strike just screams. He gets shot and screams.
Gee, thank you. That does my confidence so much pleasure.
He's actually a tough character.
You better be.
for a screamer, he's really tough.
I already played 2 different screamers.
I'm Derek. I told you we're gonna get that primal screaming in this morning. That's our morning meditation. Optimus primal screaming. I'm Derek, aka D.Barry Audio. That's my Facebook page. I don't really have a YouTube channel yet. I should probably work on that. I do a couple of voices for Transformer Fan 5000. And it's so early in the morning, I don't know any of my characters. They're all great. They're super duper. It's a lot of screaming.
You voice Quake Tremor.
That's right.
You voice Onyx Prime, Nexus Prime. And I forget everyone's character. And I feel horrible because there's just so many voice actors.
I know I'm like a medic. I know that I'm like
Wheeljack and First Aid. Wheeljack and First Aid.
Yeah. I'm Kill. Yeah. And that's what I do. I wrap my brain out and perform voice acting. There you go.
My hair's so messy. TFA, do you want to introduce yourself?
Gladly. Hello, everyone, or Ball Weep, Grog No Weep, Nitty Bong. I'm TFA 1024, the TF Addict. I voice the fabulous Knockout. I voice the Trickster, Liege Maximo, and I voice the manipulative and very sneaky Quintus Prime. And I'm very honored to have those roles because that's my first time actually voicing those primes. If you want to find out more about me, just type up TFA 1024 or the TF Addict here on YouTube. I do have an Instagram as well. Again, TFA 1024. I have a Facebook page. It's slowly getting active again. Also, TFA 1024. And yeah, I make videos every now and then. I'm currently just taking a hiatus, but we'll get back to it in our prime.
There you go.
Cool. So there is a few questions that I basically screenshotted from like YouTube and Instagram. So I'll go through them. I'll say who asked the question, and if any of you kind of want to add on to my answer, or if you have any questions yourself, just feel free to ask. I do apologize if I butcher anyone's name, by the way. We've got a message from Harrison. Harrison's got to go, but good luck answering everyone's questions. Thanks, Harrison.
Thanks, Harrison.
So we've got one. Yeah. So firstly I want to say thanks for all the support on End of Days as well. We're on. I think it's 6K views. We're on End of Days already.
Well, yeah, you just hit it last night.
Really good.
I didn't even think there's that many people on YouTube.
Yeah, there is, trust me. Yeah, 6K views, so that's awesome. So yeah, thank you for like the support. Like every one of you's been involved somehow. So we've got training exercises coming out today as well, so that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be.
Although I'm not there for the
that'll be a good
premiere.
one.
I set the premiere, and then like after I set it, I spoke to Derek yesterday. I was like, I
He said
can't
he was
actually
gonna
make
beat me
that
up.
time myself.
He said he
Yeah,
was
oh
going to
well,
practice his kickboxing on me. He's
I'll be
gonna-
asleep, so
Yeah, so yeah, that was a really good reception I had. So thanks for everyone. I'll go on the first question. It's from Optimus Prime. So he
Yeah.
asked, will Hot Rod return, or is he just in space forever? What's the name of the Prime on the Ark, and will the 13 show up in later parts? So Hot Rod return, yes, he's definitely going to return. Hot Rod actually has a very, like, I didn't just decide to just blast him away from Byzantium. I mean, I thought it was a cool idea, but there is some place in the story that he goes. So Hot Rod does return. The name of the Prime on the Ark, I'm guessing that is Break Prime on Byzantium. So if you don't know who Break Prime is, he's in he made his debut in Dawn of Corruption Part 3 as Breakaway, and then he opens the Matrix and becomes Break Prime. So that's who's on the Ark or Byzantium. And will the 13 show up in later parts? So they will, not like they did in Part 1. But one thing that I did mention to a few of the voice actors is End of Days is something that the 13 are felt throughout the entire film. So they're more predominantly in Part 1, but they are also in like other little bits of the End of Days, and their presence is, even though the rest of the film pretty much takes place in present day, the presence of the 13 is felt throughout the entire film, Part 1 to 6.
So in other words, Space
I don't
Ghost.
know if maybe.
Like pretty much like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. Like, since these are like ancient beings, we're not going to physically see them, but in a way, we're just going to be like, oh, here you go, Transformers ghosts.
Maybe you.
I want
you
to make
sound
a
like you could be
comment, but
onto
I'm not going to
something there.
spoil anything. So
It's like the end of
I'm
Star
not sure on
Wars.
that.
They're just Transformers just waving from the clouds, like, "Hey guys, you did a good job."
We never speak of that.
Who are you?
We were here the whole
I'm
time,
Optimus.
except when we weren't.
Optimus Prime.
Feel my force.
Hey, well, to be fair, Prime became a ghost at the end of Beast Machine, so
True. Second question comes from Benno Pelka. Is it Benno Pelka? He says, do the other Seekers exist in your universe? And who was the green bot with Megatron? And did Makeshift survive? Firstly, I'll just say that pretty much every character in Transformers is in my series in some capacity. So, and I'll just think.
oh, that better not mean what I think it means, boy.
Oh,
Where's the Skywarp, man?
that's a very aggressive boy.
Where is the
Yeah, so-
Skywarp from?
I'm loaded. Don't you piss me off.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, like.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah. Pretty much all the
Where's
characters
the
are in the
Skywarp
universe.
from,
So,
man?
we actually have an episode coming out called "Whatever Happened to Skywarp," because Skywarp
gosh.
we actually do. It's not a joke. But the other Seekers, like there's the Rainmakers, whatever have coming in. They're going to be in the Tiger Packs episode, so that'll be interesting. And they might show up here and there. I do want to have a story about Ramjet. I'm not 100% yet, but I do want Ramjet to be my series.
I will. You know my
green bot-
appreciation of Ramjet. I will gladly audition for that.
I know. That'll be. You could voice him if you want. I know what that character means to you, so if you'd like to voice him, it'd be pretty cool if we got a scene with Starscream and Ramjet together.
I'd
Give
just like
him
to voice Ramjet
Ramjet.
At some point. I feel like that'd be fun. Just be like Ramjet.
You call
Nice.
him Ramjet, boy.
I would need an adult diaper if I ever get the chance to try out for Megatron. I know you got a Megatron, but like that's my jam. I want to be Big Baddie.
So so the green bot with Megatron, that was Scavenger.
Son of a gun.
My Zoom's my Zoom's frozen on my laptop. It's still got on my computer behind me, but it's just frozen on my laptop.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's like a good pose. Everybody got like a really good pause screen for you.
And did Makeshift survive? So the odds of Makeshift surviving, I'm not going to spoil it, but Makeshift is a big character, so I'll just say that. So I probably won't kill a big character just easily. Let's just say that.
But he might. No
yeah, but he
spoilers.
might, yeah. No spoilers. Who else we got? We got one from Zero G Havoc YT. He's also asking some questions on Instagram, but he said, did Bumblebee, Brawn, Sideswipe survive, or did they die in the explosion? Same really applies from Makeshift, that I'm not going to just kill some big characters just randomly. I mean, I could do, but, you know, Bumblebee, Brawn, Sideswipe, they're all big characters, so I'm not really going to just kill them off. So, yes, they could definitely survive, but you're going to have to wait to part 2 to actually see.
He could just turn around and Games of Thrones all of them. It's Red Wedding. Bam. They're all dead.
Yeah,
that's
you never
true.
know. You never know. You
You
never
never know.
I mean, he could pull an 86 and just slaughter them all, like at the first act of the 86 movie.
There you go.
All the while, you have like a hair metal band being like, I avert your fortune, tricked up all the skies.
Don't.
Coming back to theaters to traumatize you once again because the 80s didn't do it enough.
Oh no! Like if you saw
Big hair,
all
don't
the
care.
storyboards and stuff of who they were gonna kill in that movie, God, it would have scarred so many people. I think poor Gears got it in one of the worst ways.
Really? I didn't hear about
Yeah.
his death.
I read on the
by
wiki.
Devastator.
No. It wasn't that. Like he's running away, he gets blasted, thinks he's gonna run off again, but Cyclonus just goes around him and like annihilates him.
Oh,
Tickle fight
poor
to
Gears.
That was one violent tickle fight.
Poor guy. Poor guy. We got another question from Stinger Studios. He's just put, when is part 2 coming? How long is it? Part 2, I'm basically going to be doing expanding universes probably for the rest of the year to learn more skills and really have a break from the big projects and focus on all the smaller ones. But it's probably going to be similar to End of Days Part 1. It's probably going to be about 40 minutes, maybe. Probably not as long as Part 1, but yeah. And it's also put, will there be a fight with Megatron's army and Starscream's army? Eli, would you maybe like to comment on that without giving too much away?
I think that there's going to be an interesting fight. I mean, Starscream, he's finally got that bit of power he's been longing for forever. It's inevitable at this point. He's not going to back down. I mean, he may look like he's gonna, but I mean, at the same time, Starscream's the type of bot that would gladly have a knife at your back, as it looks like he's patting you on the back.
Yeah, the thing I like about this Starscream as well, and like you, Eli, you kind of like bring it to life more, is the fact that the Starscream, yeah, he does kind of start off as a bit of a treacherous coward in the past, but like now, like you said, he's got the power, but he does almost care for his Decepticons now. Like Megatron's order, like Barricade, Blackout, he has a level of respect for Barricade, Blackout, and Brawl, and we do see that in some of the expanded universe, what will come out. But you know, they're expendable to him. But you know, characters such as Predaking, Knockout, you know, he actually does almost care about them. And
yeah, that one scene where Starscream's just ranting to all the Decepticons, and then Predaking's like, "I'm sorry, my lord, I have failed," and Starscream's just calm about it. It's like, oh, he's like a little puppy dog, like a sick, demonic, fire-breathing puppy dog, but still.
Did you want me to answer that question you had? Now we allow you, didn't we, to wait till later?
Go ahead.
So yeah, so Eli asked a question about how did you say it? What was your question, just so the audience?
The question
knows?
was, does Starscream secretly care about Predaking? Because he's ranting at everybody else, but he's not yelling at Barricade. Like, he's not even blaming Barricade. He's blaming everybody else.
Predaking, not Barricade.
Yeah, whatever. You get the idea.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, so Starscream does kind of care about his Predacons. The thing is with Predaking is, you know, if Barricade fails, Starscream will know that Barricade probably didn't give it his all, or if like Brawl fails, he'll know that you know, Brawl's probably been beaten up a bit. But like if Predaking fails, Starscream knows what Predaking is capable of. So if Predaking fails, Starscream knows how tough the situation was, because Predaking's success of like fights and battles, he is like really, you know, he's in the top scorers.
That dude's
So for
like
Predaking to
merciless.
fail,
I mean, he tortured poor
so
Silver.
for Predaking, so for Predaking to actually fail, Starscream knows that, you know, Predaking gave it his all, and he knows Predaking's loyal to him to the end. And for him to fail, he has absolutely exhausted himself. And one thing I do actually kind of want to mention as well is there wasn't actually it wasn't a deleted scene. I did kind of plan for it, but I never wrote it in and filmed it. Was when Predaking got his hand chopped off by Roadbuster. Obviously, you'll probably see all like his energon leaking out his hand, and then in the next scene with Ultra Magnus, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Like, there's no blood at all. When Predaking gets shot off his Xanthium and he goes to like the engines, he actually sticks his arm into the engine and cauterizes his wound. Just a little fact there.
Makes sense.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
I mean,
So again,
Predaking, the way you wrote him and the way Predaking's normally portrayed is he's not stupid by any means. He's actually pretty smart.
yeah, and I think you also mentioned this before, like how Predaking is almost like a naive, like he doesn't have the experience that the others do. So like Barricade sees Starscream for the coward that he used to be, whereas Predaking has never seen that side of Starscream. So Starscream in his mind is his creator and is loyal to him.
Yeah, like kind of like Frankenstein or the monster with Dr. Frankenstein at first, you know, before the doctor tried to kill him.
Yeah, definitely. Got another question from.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who would win in a fight? Predaking or his maker Starscream? Like, is there a little bit of fear that Starscream has? Like, I hope that this guy never does turn on me. Like, is that maybe why he's a little bit more civil? Like, maybe I won't call him on today because he could punch me in the face and kill me in one punch. Like,
that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I kind of see it like Transformers Prime, Megatron, and Predaking almost. So whereas, you know, they're both very powerful, so they probably equal each other out more than one over the other. Like Predaking is like insanely powerful. Like if you know who Predaking is, you know how powerful he is. But Starscream's also got the energon from Donut Cushion Part 3, where he absorbs it and he gets stronger every day to the point where he's like on Optimus Prime's level of strength. So it's probably more equal. Like if they were to fight, it would probably be. There probably wouldn't really be a winner. I think it would just go on, and you know, one wouldn't be able to get the upper hand over the other. They'd probably just cancel each other out. That's kind of how I would see it go.
I could kind of see it like Starscream knows how to manipulate Predaking, so
yeah,
he has that edge on Predaking. Starscream's a lot more cunning, is a lot more manipulating. He's gonna know how to gaslight Predaking.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. He's definitely got more experience in like the battlefield.
So Starscream would definitely have more of a mental edge, but Predaking may have a little bit more of a physical advantage for now until tomorrow when.
My brains trump that imbecile's brawn any day.
There you go.
Starscream's protein gets stronger every day. Here, then, does Starscream and a John protein bar. Yeah, so Stinker Studios, he also asks, is Bumblebee alive? And again, you know, some of the questions have been asked, but
maybe
we go over them. So yeah, maybe
he's
he
dead.
is.
Move on.
Yeah. And he also asks, why does Nora Prime feel dizzy? So if you know the story of the 13th Prime, you'll instantly know why. But if you don't, then to prevent spoilers for you in End of Days, there's basically a link between Nora Prime and Optimus Prime. There's a link between them, and when Alpha China's, you know, talk about Optimus Prime, yeah, Nora is feeling all this weird connection to him. It's kind of like he's going to another dimensional by it's kind of tripping out almost. Like he's got this weird connection somehow.
Weird.
Very.
So yeah, we've got a question from is it Ryan Craft 1234? He's got two questions. He's put, did any of the Transformers shows and comics inspire you to make the series? And will you be searching for other people to voice future characters? Yes, I will be searching for future cast members, but I'll be putting up a casting call when that happens. And for the shows and comics, it's a little bit of a mix of everything, really. I mean, the IDW comics are an influence as well. It's mainly the Bayverse, and I would say little bits of Prime, animated, and the IDW comics, like all
No
kind of like
headmasters.
meshed together. Yeah, the headmaster as well. Maybe put Dodo in there as well somewhere.
Yes.
Eli.
The donkey.
He would be the only one who could beat Starscream.
I feel like when it comes to most modern TF fan media, it seems like IDW is a big inspiration for like everyone, or like a major influence, because like you look at a lot of the stuff that comes out recently and you can tell that there are some elements taken from that prior existing media, and they somehow like managed to like weld it in with their own visions of like what could have happened or what will happen in their universe and such. And I'm gonna say this right now. I see that a lot in your work, Transformer fam. So I mean, you know, kudos to you on that, because trying to do that can be very complexing sometimes, because you're taking some very trying to think. Sorry, my mind is going dead at the moment. But basically, you're taking some like storytelling and elements and like finding a way to like mix them in with your own vision, and you somehow manage to do that like almost seamlessly. So,
thank you. That's really appreciated. I think a lot of the IDW for me as well is the movieverse. I know a lot of people give a lot of the Bayverse, you know, negativity. I personally love it, but the IDW comics for the Michael Bay films really make it so much more. And you know, especially like the Arrival to Earth series, that I kind of incorporated into my Arrival to Earth series. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of like the IDW movieverse in there as well, which is good.
I think that like with the Michael Bay films and stuff, like you said, some people love them, some people hate them, but I really think that they did an awesome job reintroducing and rebooting and getting everybody with Transformers on the tip of their tongue again for a new generation. So
it was a very influential revitalization, because if it wasn't for that specific franchise, now the Transformers, or that installment, the Transformers franchise probably would have died off.
I don't think it would have died off like, you know, the way G.I. Joe did for a bit there, but it definitely would have been a bit more obscure. I mean, who knows? Because, I mean, think about it. Back in the Cybertron days, not everybody was a big Transformers fan, but after the hype of the 2007 movie, it's like, oh my God, Transformers, I got to buy every single one. Oh, there's like 15 Bumblebees, I got to get them all.
I feel attacked.
Honestly, I was just hoping that they would do the same for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you know, sadly, here we are.
Oh,
I blame Michael Bay for that one, definitely.
My girlfriend feels that pain, dude.
At least they got the guy who played Raph, right? I mean, even though he hates those movies in real life.
There you go.
Also,
there's
I
a
may
good
just
thing.
interject, like, and just add one more thing that kind of
Do
follows the question that was asked about the voicing. I want to make this clear to everyone who is watching this currently. If you do not get picked for a role, please do not feel the need to get discouraged or upset or think that you're terrible or anything. It's just sometimes there's specific talent and specific voice that people want for their project. It doesn't mean you're never going to be part of it. It's just you're going to have to look out for the next one. Because I can't tell you how many times I've felt that, and that kind of restricted me from wanting to go out there again and try and voice for stuff. But, you know, when you find a crew that sticks with you, or multiple in my case, you know, they'll treat you right. But don't ever feel like you're not going to get involved in a project, whether it be a big role, small role. You know, just being part of the fan base is honestly all you need. But if you want to be part of it, good luck. Just again, don't get discouraged. And also don't ask constantly, can I voice in this? Can I voice in that? Trust me, I get that almost on like the monthly at this case. It used to be almost weekly. Don't do that to people. It's very annoying.
It's annoying.
Same with the whole, when is this part? When is this project coming out? It comes out when it comes out. I'm not saying that to be a jerk or anything. It's just, we got lives.
Yeah. Life happens, and I'm going to give a round of applause for that because that was actually real stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree. I wanted to expand on that a little bit too. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of thick skin. Go in there, try your best. Not every project is going to be for you. You're not always going to be the main character that you want to be in every single project, but definitely keep going out, keep showing that determination, enthusiasm. And with someone like Transformers Fan 5000, when I linked up with him and he saw my work and we got to work together, it was a small role here and there, but then he asked me to do bigger roles and he introduced me to the group where there's other projects being made where I can audition for other things. So please do not burn bridges. Do not, beat yourself up. Make sure that you're being professional and kind, and networks and opportunities will happen.
I mean, it's not like one day you're going to go into a project and all of a sudden the guy's like, oh, you're terrible. You suck. Get out.
Fair. That usually does not happen.
House there or Gordon Ramsay, then that might be a different story, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
There's only that one time, guys. I auditioned for that one project. He was not very happy with the audition. I was like, okay, I know would have been good enough, but thank you. You take it,
Yeah, it's good message to have out there, definitely, because I think, especially in the voice community, a lot of people give up too easy because I think it's too hard. So it's definitely good to keep trying. And like TFA said, it's good to find the network of people. Like me and Derek, I remember that
wasn't me that said the networking thing. That was all D.Barry down there.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh, sorry. I meant like the community, like when you have like the group of people. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, that's basically what I started from, was merely a spectator to, I want to actually try and voice for stuff. And then I put out a voice reel one day just to screw around. And then next thing you know, I'm getting asked, can you voice Optimus? Can you voice this guy? It's like, sometimes you just gotta take that chance, take that leap of faith. And sometimes it'll be worth it. Other times you won't be able to get in like other, things that you want to be in. Like, I can't tell you, there are so many content creators out there that I wish I could provide my voice talent for. But now I'm working in stuff like this, and I'm working in stuff with like GPL films, and I mean, it's a lot of people, a lot of great people.
Sometimes projects just don't happen. I mean, I was supposed to be a part of TFX Productions series. I was going to be the voice of Skyhammer.
Oh, same. I forgot that was still. I hope he's doing okay. His birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, I hope so too. I didn't even realize that because that was the first Transformers YouTuber I ever really followed on YouTube. Because it was him, then I think it was Sean Long, and then Pia.
The good old days.
Yeah, and Rimfire, he was pretty good too.
Nostalgia.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes, rest in peace to that one guy. Happy birthday to the other guy, and the other guy.
Well, two of them are named Mike. The other one is, it's Pia. That's all you got to know. It's just Pia.
Happy birthday, Mike. Rest in peace, Mike. And Pia. Pia. This is fun.
It is.
I know.
Yeah.
We also got a question from someone called Marcus Marzetti, or I think it's Marzetti. Will we see any more new characters in the End of Days? Yeah, there's gonna definitely in part 2. There's a lot of new characters, so yeah, definitely part 2.
The important question of all questions: the donkey. Will we see Dodo?
Maybe we will.
Is he too powerful for your series?
Yeah, he is. I'll be honest.
All right, I have a question. Do Transformers dream? And if they do, who would win in a fight, Freddy Krueger or the Transformers?
Don't they have?
I suppose it depends if the Transformers. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it depends if they're scared of Freddy Krueger. Because if you're usually scared of something, it'll probably.
I mean,
that one guy from IDW.
they do dream. There's a whole, I think it's
Yeah.
Spotlight Hoist from
So,
IDW
all right,
Movies.
so we know that it's feasible. Freddy Krueger could attack them in their dreams. Now it's just who? How would it happen? Who? I'm thinking Halloween Project coming up, Daniel. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on
I'm
whose
thinking,
dreams he
like-
enters.
Yeah, if he dreamed in Megatron, like he'd probably get stepped on.
Maybe he
Or-
teams up with Megatron. Like he
God,
takes
what if he goes
Maybe.
inside
dream.
Trigger Happy's dreams?
Oh God.
It'll explain a lot. It'll explain a lot.
Yeah, that's why Trigger Happy wakes up every day the way he does, because he just hangs out with Freddy's in his nightmares all night.
There's a character on this web series I like called Monster Island Buddies. The character's name is Titanosaurus. He's basically like the monster's version of Trigger Happy. Just because he's laughing, he's always like, "You're talking to me, Christopher Robbins? Are you messing with me, boy? I'll skin you alive with a cactus."
If I ever do like a really like messed up Disney the Pooh goes and rampages and kills everybody, THANATOS, I got you. THANATOS, delicious. That's my favorite breakfast. But you're gonna have to be my crazy Mickey Mouse running around killing everybody.
I could do that.
Oh, hi, Goofy! Like,
Don't do your messing with me, boy. I'll do to you what I did to Goofy's wife.
what? I'm sorry, man.
Bad, Oliver.
What? Oh, you shot me. Oh, that's
Do
the
it
best
again,
Goofy you
motherfucker.
I won't step out of line. I swear. Oh.
Now go back to having the kids take their photos with you. Otherwise, your son's next, buddy boy.
Not Max. Maxie.
Okay, what's the next question? What's the next question?
we broke Transformers fan.
The next question. This guy, firstly, he wishes me a nice day, so thank you.
Aw.
Thank you. I'm actually having kind of a
Benno
bad day.
Pelka.
So that's appreciated.
Benno Pelka. Well, hopefully the rest of the day.
Well, he only wished it to
Yeah.
Transformers fan, so the rest of us, we can have a bad day.
Oh, okay.
He
You
also
just
does make
That's
shifts
really what
survive.
I needed.
No, I love you guys. I hope you all have a better day after this. This is the down part of
Hopefully,
your
yeah.
day. May the rest of your day be all
Relax.
crescendos.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say I woke up at 3 a.m. and I'm just like,
It's all right, man. That's why God invented cocaine. Just kidding, guys. Don't do that. Don't do it.
That's why they invented the nectar of every millennial's life, Mountain Dew.
Mountain
The
Dew
sweet-
Energy.
with the personal attacks. What the heck?
I was about to
didn't
say, I
which
don't know.
flavor of Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew,
You know I love
cocaine.
Mountain Dew.
Don't do them either,
That's
kids.
my shit.
Don't do either one. Mountain Dew is the only soda that has its own tooth disease named after it. Everybody didn't know that.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, Benno Pelka. So he also asked, does Makeshift survive? Again, I probably won't kill a character, big. Makeshift's got his own role. He's a big character, so the likelihood of a big character surviving is very high. And
Okay, let me just say this, because everyone keeps asking about Makeshift and if he survived. He survived. He ended up changing his identity, and now he lives in like Sweden as part of like some sort of polka band. Okay,
Yes.
that's the answer. Nobody asked the same question.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Polka
donkey. Maybe he scanned the donkey. He asked an interesting question as well, Benno. He says,
Go
who
on.
would win, Starscream or Megatron? Because at the end of Days Part 1, Megatron comes back.
Please, we all know
Um,
who would really win.
The interesting thing about
Freddy
this is...
Krueger.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't speak of him.
The interesting thing about this this fight, though, is the fact that the Starscream that Megatron, the version of Starscream Megatron last saw like years ago, he was a sniveling coward. He was weaker. This time, you've got like an alpha male Megatron versus an alpha male Starscream, and I'm not gonna say what happens, obviously, but I'm just gonna say like neither one's gonna. It's not gonna be like usual like Megatron just hits Starscream and Starscream obeys him, and after a little torture and screaming. This time, Starscream, he's got everything to lose. He's not going to back down. He's not going to bow down to Megatron. So it's definitely going to be a different sort of fight.
I want a divorce. Don't you dare intimidate me, you cheap knockoff.
Oh, no. Get the kid.
We all know who the real master of the Decepticon army should be.
Nemesis Prime.
No.
Evil Optimus.
That's the same thing, you bloody twit.
Well, that shows how much I know, all right?
We got a question from... Sorry?
Oh, no, you're good.
I was saying, we got a question from Lupin3005. He says, will you review more animated toys? He asks, will you review more animated toys? I'll be doing an unboxing soon, so that's something to look forward to. And TF Concepts SM has asked, what were your influences for the series? I could see a lot of the IDW Transformers Prime lore was used in it. So yeah, Transformers Prime was used a lot. Bayverse definitely used a lot. There's three franchises that are very inspiring in my series. So obviously Transformers. The other two is The Walking Dead and Star Wars. I really like both those franchises, and there's certain characters and certain elements and certain things that I take from those shows. Like there's an upcoming expanded universe called We Are Here, We Are Waiting, and if you're a fan of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, hopefully you'll see like a little reference and a little bit of inspiration that I put in that episode from a certain Clone Wars episode. I won't obviously say what it is for spoilers.
I could totally be that guy. No spoilers, but I genuinely also haven't seen it, but I also don't care. The show's old. It's my own fault I haven't watched it yet.
Same here.
I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm a Star Wars G1er. I prefer the 2003 series.
That's unique. But yeah, so Walking Dead, Transformers, and Star Wars, they're definitely big inspirations for my series. Especially characters like Rick Grimes, Daryl, Negan, like those sort of characters. I really love them. And Anakin.
Don't like sad.
I like Coral. Coral! Stop roller skating with your girlfriend. There's zombies out there, Coral. We're looking for Coral down in the sea. Sorry.
Got the last few. Sorry.
I thought you got a lot of Magic Mike inspiration and Sons of Anarchy. I see Magic Mike and Sons of Anarchy in every single one of your films, Daniel.
All I'm gonna say, like D.Barry, is if I get my series off the ground, you got a voice cut for me.
Oh, I'd love to. Anybody you want, I'd love to audition. I'm insane. Like I'm an addict for voice acting. All right, Daniel could give me a poke in the eye and a box of donuts, and I'll do whatever he needs.
This question actually comes from Eli. So he replied to my post, and he said, "Who's your favorite Transformer to work with?" So for me, it's not really about like the figure. Like I have loads of good figures, but I might not say, "Oh, I love to film with it." For me, it's more about what they look like in the final production. So this guy here, I've written down for this as well, Siege Megatron. So in Head Start, he was in Head Start, and I really loved how it turned out, and I loved seeing him on screen. So for me, when I bring him out next in Frenemies, the Decepticons, and First Stand of the Wreckers, when I bring him out in those, I will love it because I'll have the same sort of drive to film because I love this, filming with this figure because he looks great on screen. So a couple of the figures I like to film with is the Battle Blaze Optimus Prime, the Voyager Class 1. I like to film with him, and I do like filming with the 13 Prime figures as well because they were very interesting. We got a question from Zero G Havoc YT again. He said End of Days Part 1 was definitely worth the wait, which I appreciate. And he's also said, is Hot Rod dead, or will the Autobots find a way to get him back? So again, he's on his own little quest now almost. He's got his own little thing to fulfill. Azard Altintus. So I apologize if I said that wrong, but he said, "How do you change the colors of the toys?" So basically, what I did for the 13 primes was I got a figure like Nora Prime here. Nora Prime, I made no changes to him, but figures such as Cybertron Optimus and Combine Wars, Rodimus, and characters like that, I basically filmed them how they were, and then in post-production, I changed the hue and everything like that. So I had to mask around the entire figure, though. Like, if there was about 7 different primes that I had to change the color on, I would have to mask around each prime and change the hue individually, which was a pain, but it was worth it in the end. So that's how I did the colors, change the hues.
Because of you, I want a green repaint of either Kingdom Cyclonus as Leech Maximo or the Combiner Wars one.
Yeah, I remember N-Dash put he wanted to customize the Galaxy Siege Optimus Prime into Primer, since I use the Cybertron Optimus as Primer.
I didn't know you know N-Dash or Input.
Yeah, Input.
I like him. He makes some good customs.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
customs.
He does.
He did that cool nacelle.
Yeah.
Which love my boy nacelle.
Yeah. And we've got the last 2 questions from TF Concepts SM. We can go on to asking each of the questions if you want after that. So he put, who was your favorite prime out of the 13 and why? You guys can also say which ones you like as well. But personally, I liked Primer and Nora Prime. Not just because I voiced him, but like, I mean, he was a great character anyway. I think for me, like, I love Primer because he's almost like, I hate to say it, but he's almost like a better version of Optimus Prime in my universe. Like, Optimus Prime in my universe.
Get out.
I mean, in my series, not the official Optimus, in my series.
Yeah,
like, in my series, I'm writing Optimus with, don't worry, I won't disrespect Prime. But in my series, Optimus has a few flaws that you'll find. Whereas Primer in my series, if you compared Primer in his prime, no pun intended, but if you had Primer in his prime compared to Optimus Prime present day, you would notice like the difference. Like Primer is what Optimus Prime wants to be almost. And for me, Prime is the first prime and Noro is the last prime of the 13. And you see the difference between the first prime, who is, I mean, they're all still young, which is why they haven't, they've not mastered all their abilities yet. Like if you notice in End of Days, when they're fighting Unicron, like Megatronus teleports twice and he's out of breath. Micronus recharges the prime with his stone and he's kind of like drained a little bit. We've got Vector Prime using the sword of space and time, and he's drained after that power surge. Like they don't have to do much to tire themselves out, so they're very useful. Then they've not mastered their abilities yet, but when they do master their abilities, you see like Primer is on the top of like anyone. Like he's almost like the perfect warrior, whereas Novo is the youngest, and he's not unlocked anything. Like he doesn't unlock anything really in End of Days Part 1. He's just a character. Exactly, and that's what I like. You've got the first prime who is basically like mastery level, and you got the last prime who is just, he doesn't really know who he is pretty much. So
I just want to say that whole like just those little moments of seeing the aftermath of whenever they use their powers, that gave me like an MHA vibe.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, I mean My Hero
Academia.
It literally gave me like that vibe. It's like, okay, they're still learning. They're trying to master their powers or their quirks. And it's just, it was a nice little touch.
But it seems kind of like the X-Men in a way, which is a similar concept.
Sorry, I just like the 90s like theme song for the X-Men. That
Evolution was my cartoon. I could not stand the 90s cartoon.
But they had Omega Red.
But Evolution had a ton of Beast Wars voice actors. You had Scott McNeil. I'm pretty sure Richard Newman was in there, and you had Kirby Morrow. He was in there too. May you rest in peace.
Can't be mad about that.
You had to
And
mention
Kirby was like one of the only actors that made me like Cyclops.
Nice.
You had to mention Kirby.
I'm sorry. He's a talent that inspires me every day as a voice actor.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, after the last question, I think that's what I want to ask about is like, how did everybody get into voice acting?
Yeah, we've got the last question, and then, like I said, if you guys want to input like what's your favorite of the 13 or what was your favorite
All
character,
of them.
whatever. Feel
I love them all.
Can't choose.
I got nothing.
They're so delicious, each one of them.
I think for me, like the favorite character to write for. I mean, I do like Optimus and Megatron in End of Days, but we don't really see much in part 1. Like in the future parts, we'll see more of them, but in part 1, we don't really see a whole lot of Prime and Megatron. I think my favorite character out of End of Days is I really like Starscream. I think Starscream is probably my favorite to write for.
Flattery will get you everywhere, young sparkling.
It's definitely like a different Starscream, so I kind of had like
Love
I
it.
guess more freedom to go where I want with this version of Starscream. That question was from TF Concepts SM as well. So if you guys want to ask each other questions or ask me questions about me or my series or any characters or any,
I say we
if
go
you
with-
want to add on to the questions.
I say we go with D.Barry's. That was a good question that he asked, like how everybody got into voiceover and stuff like that.
Yeah. Any inspirations? Anybody that you guys really just like, wow, that looks amazing? All of it, and a bag of chips.
Who wants to start off? I mean,
Well, I'll
might as
save
well, 'cause
myself for last because mine's a
I
little
got-
personal.
I got mine too.
Okay.
Mine's a little personal, but I got my autograph book right here.
Get them.
Damn it, I lost my earbud. Son of a glitch. Damn
You
it,
kiss
I
your
blame
mother with that
freaking-
mouth? Mwah!
I blame my friend Sound Blaster Prime for this. It's all his fault.
Get him.
Nah, but like, see, I got like all these autographs. Like that's me.
Hey! Who doesn't
uh,
like that?
Obviously, these two. I got Peter and Frank right there.
What's that? Oh, word.
The Justice
Nice.
League. I met all them. They were a great
Nice.
inspiration.
You met
The
Superman?
Aquafines.
Oh, I love Aqua voice. Carl's my favorite.
Clerks.
What are you
He's the only
doing?
one I didn't get.
What are you guys doing in my pool?
Got Negan's.
Who scratched my freaking car?
Oh, Jeffrey D. Morgan's the man.
Manu Bennett, Tommy Oliver, Cerebro. Got the Pink Ranger,
Oh.
obviously.
Hey,
And I got Kelly Hughes from Young Justice, obviously.
word.
Nice.
You know,
What's he
I got
doing
like a
with
ton
that
of voice
pants? Wow.
actors. And,
That's
there's
awesome.
yeah, a lot of them just say keep at it. Even Peter in the video, he's like, yeah, life's gonna throw you some obstacles, but the key thing is you just keep going at it. You don't stop. And
Can't
even
stop
like
him.
he got a kick out of my voice, him and Frank, which I didn't know
Love
this. Frank is from my city.
That's sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Frank's from Denver. How
That's
dope is that?
awesome. I didn't
That's super
I didn't know that either.
Oh, damn. I mean, it's like, man, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning over there for you.
9 o'clock actually.
Oh, my math is way off.
Yeah, the time zones are so difficult to work with.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We've got some people in Australia. Yeah, we've got some people in Australia who are like 10 hours ahead of me. So for them, it would probably be like 2 a.m. right now. Whereas like for some of you, it's like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So it's, some of us are like 18 hours apart. So
What? No
it's
love for
difficult
the
to
11
organize time
a.m.ers?
zones.
For the what?
What? No love for the 11 a.m.ers over here? I mean, it's 11:09.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Upstate
Hey.
New York.
I'm stuck in
Nice.
Florida.
I really want to go to
Much
New
love
York.
to you guys. I mean,
Yeah, no. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning, Thanatos.
dude, I haven't slept since last night. I literally been awake since my graveyard shift. So
Yeah. I used to do that. That was a long time ago. All right,
if
so
something goes wrong, you guys have my permission to blame my friend Sound Blaster Prime.
I love it. TFA 1020
It's all
poll.
his fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did was Thanatos done speaking about how he got into it? I mean,
I'm done. It's TFA's turn now.
I love it. But you inspired by the heroes you met. I love that.
I guess mine's gonna be vastly different and relatively short. Because growing up, roughly when I was in my early preteens, I discovered YouTube. I saw reviewers, and originally I was like, "Oh, that's what I want to do," because I didn't know you can make a job out of that. And then I started watching something called stop motion. I was like, "What is it?" No sense. Not called. Nothing's nothing's stopping, but there's motion. It's my attempt at comedy. Forgive me.
You're good.
So I started watching.
All motion.
How Thanatos was mentioning this earlier, TFX, formerly known as Night/2020. I was watching his stuff, and then I remember getting sucked into it, and it's like, okay, I like this. A few years later pass, and I ended up getting my first high-tech piece of equipment. I got an iPad mini, and I started making videos and such, and I just figured, people ask me, it's like, how do you do the voice for Optimus Prime or Megatron? It's literally I played with toys my whole life.
You do a pretty good Astro Train too.
Yeah.
The GPL. Yeah, I was actually really pleased with. People were saying I sounded like Jack Angel, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel, but for some reason I had tears in my eyes.
1 second, I'll be back in a moment.
I felt so honored.
Carry on without me, my dog's about.
Okay.
Yeah, but you.
I felt so flattered and so honored to be compared to him, because it's like Jack Angel is one of the OGs. He voiced in Generation
Astro
1
Train,
quite a
Ultra
bit.
Magnus,
Yeah.
Cyclonus in the last appearance that he had in the U.S. cartoon.
Yeah, that I got teary-eyed. So, but it literally it just started kicking off whenever I started getting more invested into stop motion and such, and then I voiced for a friend of mine named Merritt Movies, who's been making outstanding stop motions lately. He's doing a wonderful Transformers series that I'm unfortunately not part of because schedules and times clash, called Emergence of a Prime. And after that I started voicing for none other than Wolfman Productions, and now I'm voicing for big people like him and GPL Animation or GPL Films and Transformers Fan 5000. So it was literally a matter of, it's like, do I want to share this talent, or am I afraid I'm going to get embarrass myself and make myself feel silly? And part of me does not regret doing that anymore, because it's like, again, this is literally just from watching the cartoons, watching the movies, absorbing the voices, and then just putting it into my everyday play whenever I play with my figures, which I still do to this very day, just not as much as I used to.
Yeah, dude, be proud of your voices. I honestly love bouncing back off of you, when I'm Starscream and your knockout.
Yeah, those are fun interactions.
They really are. They're brief, but I always enjoy them.
The one thing I just love to do as a voice actor is to have people stop asking me, can you voice this character? Can you voice Optimus? That's all I want you as is Optimus. I'm like, I can do other voices. Just give me the chance. I want to build up my repertoire.
How do you think I felt when I kept getting cast as Prowl for some reason? I think you were the first one that started that too.
To be fair, your voice for Prowl is something that's not really heard. If IDW did a cartoon, I will even say this, your Prowl matches the War for Cybertron trilogy Prowl. It has that same energy, that same tone, and it works.
That's
it works
kind
for
of
Prowl.
what me and Transformers Fan 5000 were talking about.
Yeah.
Because when we first heard
spoke
Prowl
about
in that
this before.
series, it was like, does that guy sound like me? Why does his Prowl sound like my Prowl?
You must have heard it, man. You must have heard one of the.
You copied him.
I can't help but feeling I need to get a lawsuit in order.
Just don't go flipping.
You're the cop.
Yeah, I'm the cop. Remember that.
Just don't go flipping tables.
No promises.
I love that Prowl. The amount of times he's done that. I love the bit with Fort Max as well.
Yeah.
You haven't had the practice.
So Dan, how did you get into voice acting and making movies? The Transformer Fan
me,
5000.
Well, you call me Dan or whatever. Yeah, so I one day I think I just randomly. It started off literally down there. I did this mini stop motion of Hero Factory, their Bionicles, and I did that. I progressed to do a very bad recreation of Bumblebee Mikhailovich Brawl from the 2007 movie.
Mhm.
And then from then I just made my original series. Got to series 3. I was gonna do like 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I kind of thought, oh, I can do this way better. So I remastered it, and that's when my cinematic universe started with Dawn of Corruption Part 1. I do want to get into the paid voice acting, but I just haven't yet. Every time I do, I kind of think of like the Joker of Batman when he says, "If you're good at something, never do it for free."
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
yeah,
It's rough sometimes.
I want to
I've
get
been
into it.
I
Yeah.
want to do that more myself. I'm taking a bit of a break right now because I might as well like tease some people. I'm working on a film myself, like a live action film.
Nice. It's awesome.
Like we just have to do some location scouting, which I'll probably do once I get a couple hours of sleep after this, and from there, I mean, we got our screenplay finished, so it's just a matter of
Looking forward
playing
to it.
things out.
That's a
That
pretty
sounds
big
cool.
deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep us posted. We want to know more. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely will.
Cool.
Great.
Okay, so I got into voice acting. I don't know. Ever since I was a little kid, I always felt like I was supposed to be like an entertainer, right? Just I always kind of made people laugh, made people smile and stuff. And so that when I got out of high school, I didn't know what to do, so I started to go to college for being a DJ on the radio station because those are the guys that I thought were really entertaining. So I did that for 10 years. I was a DJ at a hip hop station, D-Rock. Jams 96.3, top of the days, hits your humble host, D-Rock.
I can definitely tell you have a good, like, because I went to one of those schools too. You have a really good, like, radio voice.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the new school of radio and television was what we called it up here.
Yeah, it's like, heck, this guy could be like the future Casey Kasem. If you voice Cliff Jumper, I'm going to laugh my butt off.
Yeah, that'd be. I know I don't do Cliff Jumper. I do Wheeljack, but maybe in future, right? But
yeah.
So the radio station gig was super fun. Just didn't pay that great, right? Kind of like voice acting for free. it's super fun. Love to do it. I was in there every single day, wasting too much time. But long story short, I heard this rumor that my uncle on my father's side, and I don't really interact with my family too much, but one of my uncles who had passed away, his name was Joseph Alasky, and he was a very, very big voice actor. He kind of took over for Mel Banks and did a bunch of the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes characters.
Your uncle?
Is my uncle. Well, all right, so he's my uncle through marriage. He married one of my dad's sisters, and yeah, I met him once when I was a baby, but learning my whole life that there was this dude that was so powerful. He's a comedian turned voice actor, did Looney Tunes. He was Yosemite Sam in the Space Jam movie. He's the only person to ever do Plucky Duck and the Tiny Toons,
Yeah, he was also the grandpa from Rugrats.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Holy crap.
Wow, I didn't even know who. I know who you mean now, but I didn't know it was him.
Joseph Alasky, if you look him up, he was a really, really talented, really cool dude. And like I say, he's my uncle through marriage, so I didn't even get any of his DNA in me. But at the end of the day, it's pretty cool to have that lineage in my family tree. So that's what really made me focus on voice acting.
That's good.
I may have to set you up with my voice coach. I think you and her would get along really well.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, she's actually a student of Susan Blue, believe it or not.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Susan Blue. That doesn't. I'm dumb with with information. That doesn't ring a bell.
Susan Blue, G1RC.
Voice G1RC, and also for those of you who are fans of this, much like I am, she was also a voice director for Magic School Bus.
Oh, I love Magic School Bus.
Wait, she was the voice director of that?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Right.
I do remember. I just remember watching it in school.
Yo, that theme song was the dopest. That guy would hit some notes. Of lava.
That era of cartoons just, God, it's just so nostalgic.
Yo, especially the theme songs, man. I mean, we were talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles earlier. That's a sick opening theme song, like the '90s one. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You remember those guitar riffs?
Oh,
Yeah.
Go
I
go
was talking to
Power
Eli about.
Rangers, you Mighty
I
Morphin
said to
Power
Eli the other day,
Rangers.
I'm not really. I've never got into Power Rangers, but whenever I hear a song, I always want to just get up and like dance.
Yeah.
I've never really watched it.
It doesn't make me want to dance. It kind of makes me want to wear one of those like suits and like fight guys and like really badly done. Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's that too.
I'm gonna merge those two concepts. Mosh pit. Okay. Yeah.
hey, if I get a chance to make out Pink Ranger, I'm not opposed.
Yeah. Kimberly was great. R.I.P. Trini. You know what I'm saying? But I think my favorite Ranger was always Zach, bro. He
Dude,
could
Zach always
karate.
had the moves,
he could
man.
dance. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're like capoeira, Brazilian jiu-jitsu on him. Just be dancing in the middle of a fight break.
That guy would be perfect to voice Jazz one day. I mean, Zach basically is like a human Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more questions, Derek, TFA, or Thanatos? Do you guys have any questions for?
Here's a gag question. When are you gonna fix your dang Galvatron?
Hey.
I don't know.
Public
I
call.
don't know.
This is sign language for coward. I learned this from Godzilla vs. Kong. Love that movie, by the way. My favorite movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Godzilla vs. Kong was good.
I haven't seen it.
I love that. I love
My
that scene
God,
where
man!
that,
If I
that
known
guy,
you
I
hadn't
forget his
seen it, I would
name.
have given you the code.
That's all good.
I love that guy where he says, like, you are a very brave.
I really want Adam Wingard to direct a Transformers film now. Like, apparently, he didn't like the Transformers designs from Dark of the Moon, and that's what motivated his design for, spoiler alert, not really, because everybody knows at this point, Mechagodzilla.
Noise.
Hmm.
So you could say Transformers
I really like that
helped
Michael
give us one of our
Bay.
favorite, robots.
Could see it.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of questions, God, where do I even begin? You seem to have like this very ongoing story that you're going to be working with. So I guess the only fitting question is, how long do you intend to have the story go for?
Till he's dead.
So I do have an end point of where I want to go. It just depends how long it takes to make it. I'll be honest, it's probably going to take at least probably 7-8 years at the very least. So for me, there's a lot of expanded universes I'm going to do. Like some of these take place like at the very start, like the golden age of Cybertron. I want to tell like Megatron's story, how he started off as a miner and then he like worked his way up to lead the Decepticons. So I want to tell like those sort of stories as well. Some of the stories are very like I've pretty much wrote it already, but I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, because I'm working
the
on
collab I'm working with you on, the quiet one about the certain wrecker. Is that part of your main series or no?
Yeah, that one.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, that's
going
part
to
of the
be
main series. Yeah. So basically, I have a lot of expanded universe stories. Some are going to be like pretty big projects. Some are going to be like medium size, like 15, 20 minutes. And then some I've got like really short episodes, like literally like 2-3 minutes. Training exercises coming out today. That's the actual length of the episode is about 7-8 minutes, and that takes place 7 days after 1,518 days without an accident. After the death of Silverbolt, like it shows the aftermath of like drift or deadlock turning into drift, and well, not turning into drift, but like trying to merge with the other Autobots. Like 7 days after that. So my
Guys,
series doesn't really come out in
when I do
chronological
some
order.
portfolio.
No. Predaking's very brutal, so yeah, don't expect him to go easy on anyone. But yeah, my series doesn't come out in chronological order. It's going to come out in a random order. But I do have a playlist on my channel of the cinematic universe so far. I know that's listed in chronological order. But like I said, I've got a lot of series, I've got a lot of expanded universes I want to tell, and as far as I'm going to go, I've got End of Days, which is essentially season 4. So it's like Dawn of Corruption is season 1, Corruption Part 2 is season 2, Dawn of Corruption Part 3 is season 3. End of Days is essentially season 4, and it's got like 6 parts to it, so 6 episodes. I've got expanded universes in between all of these. And then I've got season 5, 6, and 7. That's going to be like a grouping of it, like a little trilogy. I'm going to have season 8 and 9, and then 10, 11, 12 to really close it. I may choose to do little stories here and there take place after like season 12 or something. I'm not too sure yet, but yeah, as it goes, it'll probably go to like season 12, and it's probably going to last for the next like 7-8 years, but who knows.
Noise. How did you get Arnold Schwarzenegger to try out for Chrome Dome? That's what I want to know.
I have my ways. I have my links. I feel like I feel like he's closer than anyone realizes. I feel like I always feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger is right here.
That was a great one.
Dome.
How hard did you punch yourself in the face when you were in the blue?
The thing is, it wasn't that hard, but I caught my tooth. Like I went like that, and it wasn't hard, but I caught my tooth on my knuckle, so my tooth took in my knuckle, and my knuckle just absolutely bashed my tooth. And I literally, my microphone was right next to me here, and I was literally like going like, and then I just go like that, and I'm like, oh. So the clip I use where Trigger Happy actually goes, oh, that's a real pain. Like, that is actually the real bit. I edited it out, so when Quake punches Trigger Happy, that's the actual real pain. Apart from in the blooper reel, I don't delete the bit where I say I accidentally punch myself.
You physical pain upon yourself to emulate real reaction for the sake of a project.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a music video in the media school, and I had to get kicked in the gonads.
Nice. That's committing to your work.
I mean, granted, I smoked a ton of weed to get myself prepared for it, but even then,
every day,
hardcore style.
Every moment of every day. That's what I have to do to prepare for anything.
Kind of glad I didn't go to media school now.
Why? It was so cool.
It was cool.
It's where we learned how to put apples into pipes. Man, I was gonna ask some damn weed.
This guy's funny. I need to work with this guy some more.
Dude, all day. I'm just chilling. Let's do it.
Add him on Facebook. Just add him on Facebook and just.
Do I smell a podcast coming in the future, Thanatos?
Yeah,
I'm smelling some podcasts.
Like, dude, I have the equipment. I have been wanting to podcast about stuff for a while now. So,
dude, I'm looking for a partner in crime to start a podcast with. So let's do this.
Like, yeah, let me know, man. Like, I got like a ton of availability, and I have been dying to do like something with the voiceover stuff or just my microphone and shit.
Love it. You got my email. We will be in contact. All right. Yes, this is definitely happening. Are you on Discord too? Because we could just totally start up a room.
I'm sort of on there. Like, I left one of the servers I was in. It was just, stuff was happening. Bit of like heads butting, and it was like, for my own mental health, I gotta leave. I'm not exactly happy here anymore, and it's been a while since I even came out with anything because, I get it. Life happens, stuff happens, but I wasn't that pleased. So, bye-bye.
Word. No, I feel you. If you ever want to do it again, I like that you can kind of be in whatever server or channel that you want to be in. Because, I was in one and it was just straight up all nudes, just like straight up cartoon pornography all day. It was awesome, and then it wasn't. And then I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good with that."
There's some stuff I just don't want to know about. Like, I love him to death, like Jobby, but God, that guy's fan art. like that third-party RC he reviewed. It's like, oh, I feel dirty watching this.
Well, have you ever seen who was it? Ringo Starr from the Beatles. Have you ever seen his MS art, like his paint project?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, it's stupid. It's really dumb.
I haven't.
It's
I kind of want to
insane.
search it and see what it looks like. What is it?
Ringo Starr art with MS Paint. It's Microsoft Paint. It's just like, this is a guy with a hat. This is a lady's face. Flip it
The
around.
first one I saw was this.
Yeah. Yep. That's Ringo Starr's artwork.
Hold on a sec. I gotta see this. I'm gonna regret this, but I gotta see this.
It just reminded me, you're like, some things you just don't want to see.
That looks almost like you take some rejected Rugrats characters, like the 2D era,
Yep.
like that weird animation style, and it's like these are the rejected characters that they did not want even for a show like that.
Word. All right, I have a question. Does anybody have a cartoon or animation that they're really into nowadays? Like they just can't put it down. Like, what's your new thing this week? I have ADHD, so it's going to be something different next week. But like this week,
I
what's
feel
your
that too.
hyper-focused
ADHD over
cartoon?
here too.
Me
Nice.
too.
ADHDers unite.
No ADHD. I do have a bit of OCD in a weird way, but
Same. So like already pre-existing media,
Or not. Doesn't put me on something new, TFA. Whatever's going on. What's happening?
honestly, I mean, with modern cartoons, Disney's been killing it. I've been obsessed with the Owl House.
Oh,
love Hootie,
I've
dude.
heard good things
It's
about
hilarious.
Owl House.
It's
I haven't seen that
so
one yet,
good.
but I heard. Okay,
I've not seen
that's
it.
one to check down.
It's
I'm
so
typing
good.
it down.
I need to check that out. Is that on Disney Plus?
I mean, no, you can just log into the Disney app and with your cable provider, and you should be able to watch it that way too.
I don't have cable. That's the thing. Like, I got Disney. Well, me and my best bud Tazier, like, he gets my HBO Max. I get his Disney Plus. It's a
Yeah. So it should be on there then.
yeah.
Mine is Adult Swim Primal by Gendry Tartovsky.
Yes, I just saw a couple episodes of that, dude.
I need
So
to finish
good.
it.
It's so good. Yeah, no, I'm on the second part of season 1, and it is
Gendy
so
needs
good.
to do a Transformer series. That dude would just kill it.
Well, I think he was in what Dan meant, or Transformers Fan 5000. Fuck, I keep messing that up. Mentioned earlier was that Clone Wars.
You're with Daniel if you are.
It's just such a handsome name for a handsome guy, Daniel. Oh, you're such a good boy. No, but Gendry Tartovsky, I think he had a lot to do with the Clone Wars
Yeah, that's
animated
2003.
series. Yeah, and I know he did Dexter's Laboratory, and he helped with
Samurai
Powerpuff
Jack.
Girls and Samurai Jack. Yes, no, definitely. And the thing that I really like about it, and it kind of is like heartbreaking to me that I'll never be able to voice act on the show, but there's no dialogue. It's just like, just sounds. It's like really sound design more than anything else. Yeah, I love it. I don't know, maybe I could. I think they had the dude Tom Kenny who did SpongeBob. He was like one of the 8 people in episode 5.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I heard Kevin Michael Richardson too.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's such a good series. If anybody hasn't checked it out yet, I'm looking at you, Dan. I know you're such a nice guy over here watching it.
Didn't they come
We're
out with
watching
season 2?
No, they just did the second half of season 1. Season 2 is going to drop here in the next, I think closer to the fall, so in the next couple weeks.
Oh man! After that cliffhanger in the mid-season finale of season 1, I don't want to spoil anything, but I was so mad. I'm like, oh my god, are they done? Are they done with the show?
Yeah,
Is
I
this
need
gonna
to.
be
I
like?
need to I need to finish it. I don't want to spoil anything either, but I'm trying to remember if this was either in the first half or not. But I mean, can I say it? It's not a big thing. It's just typical
No,
villain
go
of
ahead,
the episode or whatever.
Go on, Dan can edit it out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just fantasizing about that show right now, and I'm like, yes.
Shows that I watched. I just watched one of my favorite criminal shows, like Cold Case. I binged that from season 1 to season 7 on HBO. Animated shows. I was gonna consider doing another run of Avatar before Netflix takes it off.
The first season or second season or both?
The first series. I like Legend of Korra, but
Yeah.
Last Airbender just has. I like it a lot
It's
more.
so good. It's so. I never even got into Korra, and that's
I have
my
yet to watch
fault.
both of those.
But if you have the time at all, TFA, it's so good. The Avatar.
I've seen it whenever like Nickelodeon played it every now and then, and
Mhm.
you know, I just never got super sucked into it. But I heard so many good things, and I want to watch it. But I also have like another backlog of like anime and other shows that I want to watch, plus the current stuff. Like I'm currently into like Masters of the Universe,
Oh,
was good,
the new
man.
one,
Like,
the remake. I
that-
haven't seen that one
the
yet.
new one. I've only watched the
I've
first
seen the first
episode,
episode.
and I'm not even a He-Man person, but I'm looking at that like, holy crap!
When I was a
Yeah,
kid, I remember
I
watching.
said the same thing.
The
I said the same
2000X
thing to
series.
Eli. I said I've never watched it, but I loved the new series. Like
Like, okay,
Masters of the
like,
Universe, the first episode.
like this is the same premise that happened to me with She-Ra. Like when
Mhm.
She-Ra Power Princesses of Power came out, I was like, I had never seen the original. I don't know if I don't know any. Next thing you know, I watch it and I'm like, okay, yes, I absolutely love this and I want more.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. Like, I want that team to do a Transformers series now. I mean, imagine if they picked up right after, like, say, Rebirth or like Return of Optimus Prime, just did their own thing that way. Like,
So
the
good.
voice talent stuff they have, it'd be so good.
Yeah, the G1 continuity, like I said the other day, is still kind of going on almost. Like apparently there's still like comics adding in and stuff like that, which is interesting.
I don't know what happened exactly. I know the Selects manga ended, and it ended in all sorts of weird ways. Like, Spike, I think, gets shot, then somehow he comes back. Then there's Optimus and Megatron, but it's not the same ones from G1. It's like slightly different ones. And Earth just
I've
ends
not
up
read the
dying out.
mangas.
I can't read it. It's like minus the description or the translations I've sent you. That's all I know about it. And I know like Earth ends up becoming Gaia. Like they actually explain that. And then like all the multiverses, there's like different colors of the multiverse. There's like a gold multiverse, a blue one. It's like some sort of Primus Vanguard or something like that. It's weird.
I'm saying,
I need to read that. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I need to read that.
It's making me tempted to open my Super Megatron.
It's a good figure.
I
Does
still
anybody
can't
have
believe
any-
you've not opened that.
If anybody
I
has
still
any
don't-
I can't.
fair enough. If anybody needs any Killer Beavis and Butthead voices for any projects coming up, I got you.
Eli, shut up.
Yeah. No.
Beavis?
You shut up, Butthead.
Shut up, butthole. We're gonna score.
Okay, Beavis. You said
Maybe.
4. Hey, baby. You wanna
Whoa.
do it?
I just thought of something.
What?
What is going on?
Transformers Prime RC.
Derek,
She lets
Yeah.
men ride her.
Oh yeah. All right.
Butthole. I'm trying to score.
No wait, you would never score.
Maybe. So, I like go to school with your son Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
He invited me like over or something.
Yeah, he wants to hang out with Jack. But what are you doing?
No, butthole. I want to hang out with his mom.
My bad. Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun.
what is going on?
I don't know.
You're,
Like somehow you got
Your
me
video
this
guy.
guy to connect, and now like there could potentially be a podcast in the future.
hosted by Beavis and Butthead. I
Derek,
guess.
do an improv of Arnold, just quickly.
Of who?
Arnold.
Oh, get down to the. Oh, I'm
Arnold.
sorry. Hold on. Get down to the ground. Oh no, there's a bomb. Give me.
Put that
give me
cookie
my
down.
apples. It's funny because sometimes getting in and out of characters is hard for me. So like,
I could-
sometimes I can-
When I have to do Arnold, you were literally like, "Who Arnold? Get down to the ground!" Like you,
Well, you listen here,
you just
young
went like
man.
straight into him.
yeah,
Oh, you
sometimes
shut up there, Daniel. My name is Hank Rutherford Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories.
it's such a
incredibly
Can you imagine
good Hank Hill.
Can you imagine if
Oh,
Arnold as Chrome Dome met Steve? Arnold and
Right
Steve
there.
together.
Ain't you
Imagine
that boy that's been whacking off in my tool shed?
No, I wasn't working off any tool shed, sir. I just happened to step in it. You got an awful lot of motor oil in here. Got everywhere.
You need to bring Steve back. I love voicing Steve.
We actually, I'm still going to be doing the Steve Logs. So just for you guys out there who don't know, Steve Logs is basically just Eli just improving, just like a minute worth of audio, me animating around it.
I'm down to do some of that, bro. You want some art?
Steve Logs is canon to my universe, but because Steve has cranial damage, he doesn't remember everything accurate. So he might remember like Megatron dying or something when it never happened. But because he's got cranial damage, like he doesn't know any better. Like
what I remember
he shouldn't really have a
to
blaster.
Megatron was he somehow pissed off a donkey, and that donkey just wasn't having it.
You know, it reminds me of Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life.
No, I based the voice off of Korg, and no, I can totally hear Rocco now. Like,
Energon Day is a very dangerous day.
Sorry, Hippo.
Sorry, Hippo.
I do actually. I do have a plan for. If you see like a video of my Expand Universe stories, like what I'm planning to do, I'm gonna have like a one shot of Overlord, and I am actually planning. Here's a little teaser to have a scene with Overlord and Steve together, and Steve is the one character Overlord likes. Like he goes in threatening, and Steve's just so polite. Like he doesn't see Overlord as a threat because he's Steve, and it's like, oh yeah, of course, Overlord. Of course, I'll help you with.
Oh, of course, Overlord. I wouldn't mind helping you at all. But, you know, even though he brutally massacres and tortures his victims, he's a bloody nice guy when you get to know him.
Yeah, he's never done it to me.
He's never done it to me.
Right.
Good old.
It's one of those voices that you can't help but try. You know,
no, you can't. It's like
you're walking around half the day and you're like, "What are you talking about, love? What'd you leave in the bathroom?" You ever do that where you just get into a voice for like a day and a half to the point where even your friends that were laughing in the beginning are just like, "Stop!" Just like, why are you still doing that?
Yeah, it happens.
I do my family all the time. I just go around like just going like, I am primed or something like that. Just annoying everyone.
I always say that to my kid and my dog before we go on a dog walk. I'm like, Autobots, roll out.
Autobots, go for a walk.
Yeah. Time to walk the dog. Put down the yo-yo.
Prime style.
I came to chew Energon and kick some tailpipe, and I'm all out of energy.
But there's this fat THICC tailpipe in front of me.
Just so you guys know, I've probably got like 5 minutes left, and then I have to go to my my kickboxing class. But if you have any final questions,
I gotta try to get some sleep.
I hear you. We all got important days.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Gonna chill in bed today.
Nice.
You're playing with the Ark. You're handling the Autobot's sole transportation vehicle. If anything, you got the most important job right now, pal.
You say he's playing with the Ark. I just thought that was slang for something else.
I don't want to brag, but yeah.
I'm gonna lay in bed all day and play with the Ark, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, you're lucky. Whatevs. I'm just happy I'm getting my Brotimus today.
One time I had a Brotimus, and the doctor said it wasn't good.
All right, guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. This was fun. We gotta do this again sometime. It was great.
Yeah, we
guys.
definitely do.
D.Barry, I sent you that email.
I love it.
Me on Facebook. I want to work with you, man. You're cool.
Yeah, I want to work with me too. I hear you, bro. I want to work with you too, Thanatos.
So just add him on Facebook.
Right. You guys all take care. Till all are one.
Well, thanks for joining anyway.
Till all are one. That sounds like a massive orgy.
Oh my god.
And the mood is dead. All right, you guys take care.
You too.
Till all are one and screaming in the orgasm jar.
Oh dear.
Damn, this has been fun. Thanks for letting me disrupt your whole thing. I love your face, bro.
Oh, you're gonna have
No,
fun
it was
editing
good to have
this.
you on here.
It was a pleasure.
I know.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, take
You
care.
too. Thanks for joining.
No worries. Thanks for having me.